Hey, what's up? So, just wanted to share some quick thoughts here about something I've been thinking about, especially when it comes to social media and how I believe that blockchain will really disrupt a lot of the social media industry and big data and big corporations. Because you might have had this experience yourself, even where maybe your profile on social media, whatever network it is, has been banned or disabled, and you're not really sure why. Or maybe you've seen someone who you enjoy watching their videos, and then suddenly all their videos have to get deleted or their profile gets banned just for no apparent reason. Or maybe there's a reason that's not fully clear. Well, here's the interesting thing when it comes to blockchain, because this can solve a lot of those issues. So here's another application of how I believe that blockchain is an important development moving forward. So imagine this. Imagine that instead of having to completely trust and rely on whatever network that you've made a profile on, what if you actually owned a piece of that network? So you could never really get censored. And this is something called censorship resistance when it comes to blockchain technology. You can never really get censored, meaning that you can't get canceled. Your profile can't get permanently banned or anything like that because you technically own that piece of blockchain or cryptocurrency. So what I mean by that, here's an example of something that happened where there was technically a one of the cryptocurrencies out there called Tron. They tried to acquire another coin, right? So basically, in usually when one business buys another business, then they just completely envelop into that new business. But here's the interesting thing with Tron and that quote unquote acquisition is that when they tried to do that, some of the people didn't want to move over. Some of the people who held that original coin, I apologize, I don't remember what the name of the original coin was, but people who held that original coin, they didn't want to move over and be inherited into the Tron coin. So they actually forked off and they continued on with that blockchain. So that's the power of this is you could literally just, let's say that Facebook, for example, that they acquire a new company, like Instagram, right? You could technically just stay on that original Instagram blockchain. Let's say this was a blockchain scenario. Let's say there was Facebook and Instagram, and Facebook did acquire Instagram, so this is a good example. Let's say you're using the original Instagram before Facebook acquired it, and you're like, wait, I don't necessarily want to transition over to this new, to transition to this new Instagram that has been acquired by Facebook. I want to stay on the original Instagram. So you could fork off and stay on that original Instagram if you wanted to. So that's the power of the blockchain technology is you're able to decide where you want to stay. So even versions of Facebook, right? So sometimes Facebook will just administer an update to everyone and kind of force everyone to just join that update. Well, it's up to you. Maybe you could fork off and stay on the original version that you liked. I've definitely been that place before where, I've logged on to some social media network and I'm like, hey, I don't know if I like this version. I could just fork off, stay on the original version and continue on along. So that's the power and the autonomy that you have with this sort of technology. Just want to mention that because I think that's a really powerful application, especially with all these concerns about big data as well. So a couple of things here. So censorship resistance is one thing. And then also with big data, because basically when I say that, a huge concern for a lot of people is that basically when you are creating a social media profile, that social media platform has access to all your data. And you get targeted with ads and things like that, which is something that I personally do as an advertiser, but that's beside the point. So that's the thing is that with blockchain, with cryptocurrency, you actually get to own or you don't necessarily relinquish your control over that data, right? So you're not giving it over to a corporation. That's the power of decentralization. So it's not like, there is a corporation out there that just takes your data, takes custody of it. That's basically the term for it. And so you don't have to surrender all your data over to whatever platform, whatever blockchain cryptocurrency that you're using. So that's the power of it. There might be some use cases that are somewhat in the middle, or some cryptocurrencies that do take custody of it, but it's really up to you. You get to decide, and there's full transparency as well. And that's another amazing thing about this whole, I think with the development of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, the code is pretty much all open source. So there's nothing that's really hidden, right? So it's really giving power back to the users. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share some thoughts there. Just have been finding a lot of this really interesting. And yeah, that's it for today. Talk to you later.